So, welcome back to a little meme update. This is the second recording because OBS just said no. Okay, I'm using this method here. It's a fractal method. And just before everything, for this method, for the rules, news aren't counting, hedge funds aren't counting. It doesn't count who's buy, who's sell. It doesn't count OPEX, rate cuts, market crash, 100% confidence, babies born, all this bullshit. Doesn't count. This method, and to say this method is 100% working. The only thing which isn't 100% working is this here. Okay? Even I do still do sometimes mistakes. But, and that's the big difference, in my opinion, maybe, the big difference between me and some special other YouTube. Okay? Because there are some special ones, when they are wrong, they just don't talk about it anymore. And if they're right, they are the heroes. Okay, so for the explanation, we start with a V and A here. I am not the Fractal, the IPO of a stock doesn't have to start here. The IPO can already be an M, and you just have to think the ABC before that. So we start for easy part, the V&A. So after the V&A comes the high low. Normally the peak, from the peak to the bottom of the high low is a 0.5. So from the low of V&A to the peak, 0.5 pip retracement. Then comes A, same. From the V&A to the peak of A, 0.5 or just breakout retest. Then you do a B. The B bottom is a 0.5 from the A low to the B peak. And then you do your C. Then you're making your lower peak. Then you make your midpoint. Important for his, it can only be M when the start of M is lower than the start of L. And then you can put in a trend line from the lows of your B to your M. And normally this looks like you bounce on this line, you bounce and bounce, you fall under it, you try to get over it, you maybe even break it, but you can't stay over it till one last time you reject it. Then you fall down again. Then you come up to your last time to sell. Here also important, the start of the T has to be lower than the start of the M. And then you fall to your V&A again, which is under the previous A low. Important here is you can bounce over the 0.5. You can bounce at the 0.5. You can even bounce a little bit under the 0.5. For the V&A, you're not allowed to bounce over the V&A. You have to be under it. Even if it's only 1 cent, you have to be under it. And then you just do high, low, and again, A, B, C. And then you can even say your next A should be around your T. Your next B should be around your M. And then the funny part is, this whole thing is your macro. So you have a big, big overview. And between high, low, and A and B, B and C, and even C to L, you can micro track with A, B, C. The absolute same thing. Okay. So I will show today Minecraft mining, DGT, AMC, BYND, KOSS, maybe GNS. Okay. Let's start with Minecraft mining because the gold mine of AMC, which looks interesting. And especially, I even have a story for it. Because, news doesn't matter, but News are always written for the move, for the explanation, because they have to say something. Otherwise, this fraudulent system, nobody believes in it anymore. So, first of all, without Fractal, without my method, delete everything. What is this? What can you say is this? You could just say, this is a symmetry play, where you take these bar pattern here and flip it on the side. And this would look like this. Until now, from here till now, it looks nearly picture perfect. So let's put this aside and just use or add my method to it. So IPO wasn't starting here. So this could be, yeah, no, that's not a, maybe this would be M. Yeah, or this is B. No, this is not B. Okay, so whatever this is, it's a fucking weird candle here. So you start with your C, or we start with our C. Then we did perfect lower high, lower peak. Then we made a lower button than our L. This was our M. Then we fall down, but in simple words, just under our start of our M. This was our T. And after the T, we found our V down here. So this whole thing here is just our high and low. The big high low. Our next A, the big A, is at $31. And then our next B is at $86. And C is just a question if you're breaking all-time highs or not. And then we start with the micro tracking. For the V, everything is the same. For high-low, everything is the same. This here is your little A. This will be your little B. If we get this pullback, maybe if you read this from right to left, you don't have real pullbacks here, so maybe you just jump it. I won't play this to the upside. If we get this B, so let's say if B is at 15, 16, we just take the 0.5 to here. So here would be a pullback, 7-ish. If we really do that, yeah, okay. Then I would play it. But the main thing is, I won't play this landmark here. From 31, because for the big one, you will get a pullback. You will get a 0.5 pull, and I want to play puts here. And here, I go into KOSS for B. How would that look like? It's just this here. This is your A. And then your knife, 0.5. Same move. And the story behind that is, I think it could be around 25 to get to the A. The interesting part is, I think the average for HYMC is $20. Because after reverse split and blah, 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 $20. I could even bet, could be wrong, but I could even bet up there at $31-ish HYMC will say they sold all their shares and made profit. And that will be the reason to knife it. Let's see. Normally you will get a B pullback too, 0.5 from the A low, but you don't have that here. So then I would just wait. Where's all-time highs? And just wait for the lower peak. By the lower peak, short it again. Okay. So this for Highcraft mining. Let's look at DGT. So here the bullish version of DGT, which is dead. So that's why I most of the time have a bullish version, a bearish version. Because if you break levels, and I have for every stock levels where the bullish version is dead, there is no, it was manipulation or a stop loss. No, that's all bullshit, in my opinion, for me. So if you break levels, the version is dead. For the bull version, for the bearish version, if we break too high, then the bearish version is dead. Why was this bad? The thing is, I track this as two separate fractals. And if we would have stayed in a higher low here, we would go in the third one. But because we broke here, this one is dead. So we are going to the bear version, which is not the bear version anymore, because this is now just the main version. And this fucking looks fantastic. That's not bearish anymore. So for this version, it's just one fractal. It's way better. So somewhere under here, because in this case, this stock wasn't IPOing at V. No, this is already your A. And you started with the A pullback here. Squeeze to your B. And then you see, so the higher low, the V, the T, M, L, C, you just have to imagine. After that, you did your C, all-time highs, perfect lower peak, fell down, up to your midpoint again, fell down, lower where your M started, to your T. And right now, you are finishing B. Your next target for A is 57, for B, 79. And then it's only the question, are you breaking all-time highs or not? So, did we already found our bottom? Did we already found our V and our V and A? And that's the tricky part. We don't have any 0.5s or something else anymore. We are V and A. Maybe even not that. Wait, that would be interesting. Let me look. Yeah. That's the tricky part right now. Because maybe we don't. Okay, two ways. The bullish way and the bearish way. So, for the bullish way, this is already V and A. Then your A is somewhere up here, okay? The bearish way, here is your V, your bottom of A, this here. This here. In that case, you still have to drop under it. So you still have, and even if it's only 1 cent, you still have to come under it. Then you're doing a high low. Then you go. So even if I would be 100% that this would be B, I wouldn't touch it yet. Always wait for the higher low. Always. And I even have examples. Okay. Let's look at the recent squeezes. Did DGT squeezed off the bottom in September 24? No. It did the higher low. And then it went. Good. Next target. Did DGT squeezed in June 2024 from the bottom? No. You could even say this is just higher low. But even if this is you're ready for your squeeze, yeah. Higher low. Did DGT squeezed in March 2024? No. You could see this as a higher low or even this as a higher low. Big ones. Did DGT squeezed in January 24 from the bottom? No. It did a higher low. That will be very important for MC later on. Did DGT squeezed in July 2023 from the bottom? No. And if you just say now, yeah, but it was so close and it took so short. No, it didn't. This is 12 hours. You could even say this is your higher low, and it's not 12 hours. This is 26 days. Even here, if this was the higher low, it took, and that was the shortest one, that took 20 days. There is no squeeze from the B. Never is. So, what does this help us? Wait for a high low. Pretty as easy as that. For to be absolutely bullish, everything over 70, 80 is bullish. But I also have to agree here. This could be already too high. So there, you could already be in the squeeze. How would that move look like? If you're not doing simple like this, but most of the time the repetition of the first fractal is slower, but it could still be sharp. If you're doing a normal one, you're doing a higher low, get a fucking run up here, $60-ish, and then you will do a breakout retest, or just a 0.5, maybe. And then you would go to your B, 80-ish. Then you would do a 0.5 from here, if you're doing it normal terms. And then the only question is breaking C or not. Okay? But all in all, wait to get the at least wait for a little hump. Wait at least for something like just something like this. Then go in. If we touch or break 1019 again, you can close this again and wait for the next one. But you never squeeze from the V. The stress to I might miss the squeeze. Why? And let's say you're missing it. Why ever? You didn't bought cars or whatever, you slept too long, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then you missed the squeeze. You buy puts up here. Because what happens after this? This is your C. Then you will knife down, you will make a lower peak. Then you will even more knife down. Then this is your M. Then you get a really sharp knife, and this is your T. Because I can tell you one thing. This thing will repeat again. Maybe even more bigger and slower, but it will repeat. I don't know. I mean, okay, for people who are only playing shares, I agree. That would be shit. Because if you only buy shares, it's gone. But if you play cores, why are people throwing money into worthless cores? But when the squeeze is done, they are not buying puts. I don't understand. Okay, so this for DGT. Now AMC. Okay. So first of all, I had two versions. This was the B version, and I had the bullish version. The bullish version died, and now we only have one version. Why? Because we broke all-time low. That's the reason. So we only have one version, but so we only have the bull version right now. So without fractals, just pattern bias. What is this? This is just a megaphone, nothing more. In 2020, we touched this megaphone on the downside one time. The second one, where we squeezed, we didn't touch the trend line again. So in 2024, we touched the megaphone line again. I don't think we will touch it again. In 2020 and 2021, this was our all-time high. This time around, I think we have a good chance to go up there again. But I'm pretty convinced we won't break it. Price targets 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, because hedge fund will be liquidated and it will be an infinite squeeze. If you want to lose money, do it. It's okay. So for my method. So you had your V, you had a higher low here. I will come to that back later. Your Chen squeeze, chat test, whatever, was your A. Somewhere in your June squeeze is your B, and then you got your C. Then perfect lower high, you fall under, perfect midpoint, you fall under T. And since then, this whole thing is your T. And we hopefully should be whatever in the end now. Till we broke down here, it was very clear to say that April 2024 was your BYND. Perfectly BYND, lowest point, and this should have been just our high low. It wasn't, because we broke under it. So I will come to that in a second. Our next price targets. Price targets for our next A is 76, around that. For B, 151. And as I said already, I don't think we will break out of this for your C. And here comes already the next thing. Because I 100% will hear, no, what are you talking about? It's not a two-part squeeze. It will 100% a one-part squeeze, because when this starts running, all the banks and hedge funds will be killed. Or this time it's different. Or it has to do a one-part squeeze because it has to squeeze in December. Because January, February, the market is already crashing. Okay, so let's do this one by one. First of all, no hedge fund will be killed here. I tell you, hedge funds, your enemies, will make way more money than all from us together in this one here. Second, it is different this time. I only have two people who are saying this to say one thing. It's different this time. We can't take it one-to-one. It's just similar. Okay. I even give them this. With one exception. If anybody is telling me this time is different and it's not going like it did in the past, okay, perfect. Then show me why we are at the finish line. Without showing me because of this, this, and this. If it's different this time, you aren't allowed to use anything from the past. Then it's different. If you're using anything of here, it's not different. And we're doing this. Okay? I can get behind that we may be doing a one-part squeeze. Maybe. That we're not getting the A pullback. And in my opinion, there is no B pullback. Even in a two-part squeeze, there is no B pullback. But we just don't get the A pullback. Okay. But I will never say it will be 95 to 100% a one-part squeeze. Why? Not because I'm saying I am right. No. What will happen if I tell anybody that 95%, even 90%, this will be a one-part squeeze, and we're going up here, let's say the peak is 119, and we go down, and this person really believes in my tracking. This person won't sell because he said it's a one-part squeeze. I am not that asshole who is doing that. That's why I'm not saying this. I can say, okay, I give it a chance. But if you're rejecting somewhere in here, take profit. I mean, a move from $2 to even $70. Who cares? Okay. What was the last thing? Hedge funds? Yeah. Because it has to squeeze in December because market is crashing. First of all, yeah, I could see a market crash after a blow of top, or maybe we already got the top, could be. But first of all, this crash will take 1 to 5 years. Second, this thinking, we get a market crash. And because of that, all stocks will die. How did the market survive 2008? What was it, 1980 or something like that? 2000? How? How? The market should be already dead 4 times. And then you get the answer because of market synced. And I already looked something up. Because of market synced. Because of, I'm talking, I think you already know who I mean, and if not, it doesn't matter. But because of market synced, the whole market is going down right now and is pivoting right now. And because that AMC is, everything is going down. And that's the reason why AMC is going, not because it's in a T, no, because the market is diving, because everything is going down. Okay, so just a little showcase before we close on. So the whole market is going down. Why, when the whole market is going down, why isn't Coca-Cola going down? Why is Procter not going down? Why is Danaher Corporation not going down? Why is IMAX, which is a cinema company, not going down? This thing is running since February. And even now, with the SPY market crash, since April, it is running. Why is Cipra Group, sorry, or how you call it, not going down? Why is Ventas not going down? Why is Cisco, damn meme shit, in itself not going down? Why is Suncor, a stupid, I think it's even a solar company, something like that, not going down? Why is Welltower not going down? Why is Nestle not going down? I mean, it had this pullback here, perfect. But the market is crashing here and it's running like hell. Why is Shell not going down? You know what I mean? To say AMC is going down while everything is going down and it had to, no. Sorry for the rant. AMC is going down because the Fractal is saying it's going down. GME is going down because it has a simpler, same Fractal. Like KOSS, like BYND. Tesla is only doing a 0.5 pullback. It's not going down. It went up. Oh. Okay. So, however, how long this takes, I will show that with the next thing, how long it could take. But even if it take longer, even if we not see a squeeze till January, most likely your last chance is February, and then most likely you will see it in May again. Like the last 2 years. And it doesn't matter if the market is squeezing or crashing. And sorry, but one last thing. The guy I'm talking about. Stop believing 100% in YouTubers. Even stopping believe me. Stop believing me as an idiot and stopping believing all the other idiots too. take the tracking as an advice. Then backtrack it. Look at the videos. How often are they right? How often are they wrong? And the most important part is, if, also me, if I'm wrong, if they are wrong, look what they are doing then. Are they explaining why they are wrong? Are they even talking about it? Because the special guy I am thinking about is wrong since 2 years. And if he's showing something different in a HYMC and he's wrong, he never talks about it anymore. He has one other stock than AMC. He was right on, and I think it was car or something like that. And he's talking about it all the time. But the 5 times he tried something else, other stocks, he was wrong, he never talked about it anymore. So don't believe anybody. Look at the method, try it yourself, backtrack the YouTubers. Just an advice. Okay. So I think we are now really finished with the rant. So what's the? I think I forget something. Okay, higher lows. That's the next thing. Because I already heard that so many times in the last 2, 3, 5 days. By now, this could be the bottom, which it could be, and you will miss the squeeze. No. The same thing what I showed on DGT, and I can again give you the example. So 2021. Did we squeeze from the bottom? Yes or no? No. Bottom, high or low? We didn't squeeze from the V. That's not even the channel everyone is talking about. This is just a high or low. And it took 9 days. Okay. This was the first one. Second one, April 2024. Did we squeeze from the bottom? No. How long did this take? 24 days. Third one, this year, May 2025. Did we squeeze from the bottom? No. How long did it take? 26 days. So, if this was the bottom last Friday, which it could, I can tell you, in my opinion, we won't squeeze from the bottom. So, at least we take 9 days. It has to be 10 because of the weekend. So this would be Monday, 1st December. And I already hear the people, yeah, because the guys had OPEX and rate cut. No. So let's do 24 days. December 15. Monday. Let's take, because May was 24, this one was 26, so let's take 28. Friday, December 19. But all in all, you won't squeeze from here. You will do a higher low. If it's a small, a big, a slow, a long one, doesn't matter, a higher low. So, one last thing, because now I remember again. I even have a story. Because, as I already said in the intro, the news aren't important, but they will be written because they need an explanation. You can't just let AMC run 10,000% and nobody's writing an article about it. No. So let's say we're doing a 2-part, okay? You will come up here. Let's say your peak is 110, okay? Then you take your 0.5 from the bottom here to your peak. This will be your pullback here at $14. Then you will do this shit like in 2020 and 2021. Then you go to B. And I agree, the B pullback wasn't here. So I would say, yeah, you won't get it here either. So What could be this? What news could this be? I will give you a second. So, already know it? December 10 is the shareholder meeting. The vote for the dilution. And I tell you, it will 100% go through, even if all retail is saying no. Why? Because that's the reason AMC put its headquarters to Delaware. Because then, at the shareholder meeting, only the votes personally at the meeting are counting. And Adam Aaron alone is overvoting everyone. So it will go through. So, back down there, December 10, vote is a yes. Shortly after that, he will announce dilution. Again, at the bottom. And everyone will scream, will scream and whatever. Okay. Then we get our run. Why is he doing that? Companies aren't allowed to dilute into such a liquidity event. They have to do that before or after. He announced it before that, so he's allowed to sell the shares in this run. Up here, AMC will give out the news, dilution is done. And then suddenly it will knife. Like in 2020. And then everyone will cry, Adam Aaron killed the squeeze again. This bad person. Then you will do the shit here. And I bet with you, before we're doing the second part, AMC will announce they are debt-free or half debt-free or whatever. And that's the news written for the all-time highs. Could be wrong, but I would imagine like this. But to say this, even if we get this year, I would imagine this year, this would be May, June. This in a market crash. Okay? So, I think that was everything for MC. Yeah. Wait for the higher low. Do what you want. Wait for the higher low. Okay. Next one. Beyond. Which is very interesting. So, we only have the bull version here because the bear version means pump it down and this thing is done, delisted, whatever. For Beyond, we did already our A. This was our A. Your next target would be B, 33, and then breaking all-time highs or whatever. Interesting it will become if this is just higher low. But let's see. For this being A, we are in the A pullback right now. We already broke the 0.5. This one. That was the only way to be still bullish here. We broke it, so no. So, what are we doing? We still have, why is this candle? The fuck? So, we still have our V&A. Here. Here's our V&A. On the 1 hour. Careful, because if you look at the 6 hour, the V&A would have been higher. That was a little trap. So, on the 1 hour, you see every candle. Here's your A bottom. We fall under it. So technically, we did everything already. Technically, this could be already your V. And maybe already your higher low. Look how it works. Here. Good example for AMC. This is your V. This could already be a higher low. Okay? I mean, this took how long? Only 5 hours. But okay, in that case, the only example we have is this here from the first one. And this took, okay, 15 hours, but was also pretty close. So this could be already a higher low. Everything over 122 is bullish. And I wouldn't say that we're doing this because we didn't do that in the first round either. If not, so if we still touch or break 97 cents because there are no double buttons. If you're doing a double button, the V is wrong and you still have to come lower. There is one thing which is still important, and it's this gap here. Because we have, so for the bullish version, so high price targets, I think we won't come down here for a long time. So it makes sense, if we are not holding this higher low, we still have to fill this gap. The gap would be 66. But if we're filling this gap, I would even, I'm already in because I could see this is already higher low, not fully in yet. But if we're really going down here, oh, I will add, because no financial advice, but this is just too bullish to not going in. Just a warning, everything under 59, and yeah, in my opinion, this thing is over there. But right now, this thing looks great. What if this is just higher low? That this is not A and just higher? Even better. Because then this is just your A pullback, even higher B, and so on and so on and so on. So, looks fantastic. Okay, next one is KOSS. Oh, I'm not playing it because it's so fucking slow and it's only a share play. But for KOSS, so I changed a little bit from the last time for people who already looked my older meme videos. So the only thing I'm changing is this here was your C, whatever it was. It makes more sense in the big track. From December 1984 to March 2020, this whole thing was just your higher low. And what we did right now, or still doing, is just our A. So for the closer tracking, why isn't that higher low and A and B and whatever? Just because we did here perfect V and A. And normally higher low is ending in a 0.5 and not a B and A. And this here, to just say this, if bullish, the A is already finished. And right now, we are looking for our B, which is crazy because it would be only B. I don't want to, I mean, it will take years over years to do B, the pullback, and then I would say 10, 20 years to get to your C. But this is already the starting of B. And B has to be over 126 at least. What is this? This is just this whole thing. I don't know. Nothing more. It's also pretty close in my opinion. I mean, for the bullish version, this is just higher low. And this higher low could be already finished. And this is just higher low or A of the higher low. It sounds stupid. As long as we're not breaking or touching this line. As long as we're not breaking 432. If we're breaking this, okay, we still could come down here. Just saying, 322. But we should start that Monday already, Tuesday, because this stock is so slow. It really should knife down to do that. This thing looks bullish as fuck. And to say this, everything over 862, and we going off. Looks fantastic. The alt. I don't know how to put that because I haven't put. For the alt, that would mean that A wasn't finished here. This isn't higher low. And you really come down. Something around $2 or $1. But my problem with this is, I agree that KOSS, AMC, GME, Bed Bath and Beyond, Bed Bath and Beyond I'm showing, are synced normally. If KOSS is going down here, I think AMC will die. Just of how do you say that? If old people are dying just because they're old, yeah, that would happen to AMC and for me too, because this would take years to come down here. So if you break 231, let's talk about this again. Otherwise, this looks fucking finished. Okay, last one. Just saying because the video is already getting way too long. GNS I will do just in a weekly recap video tomorrow. So for Bad Buff and Beyond, I have two ways. A bullish and a bearish version. Let's start with the bearish version first because it's short. For the bearish version, you already are in the second fractal and you would start the third one. And for the bearish one, your last P was your last time to sell. Peak was your last time to sell your T, which would mean you will knife. You have to come at least under 354. If you're doing then a higher low to 2020 or a new all-time low, you will see, but this would be knife. Also if it looks like tracking, you're coming down from your M, come up again to your T, you're doing an M, right side is higher, your knife. Same like in 2020, you come from your M, you come up, you do your M pattern, the right side is higher, you can check it, and your knife. That's why I have this bearish version. For the bullish one, which I nearly said it's over. The last peak you had wasn't T, it was higher low. And you should bounce here. And I have to say, I bought puts here and sold them on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And bought calls on Friday because I saw something. Could be wrong. It could still be absolutely bearish. But if you look at this here, it's really the same like this here. Yeah. And that's the unfair shitty part. But you can be absolutely bearish with that we are right here. So if we get a gap down, we are here. But let's look that side by side. Where is my bad buff and beyond? Here's my bad buff and beyond. So this would be right now. Yeah. And now look at this. Here's a T, here's a T. Oh, wait. You fall down, gap, gap down, fall down, gap, gap. And even if you would go lower in the time frames, you would have here a little gap up. The same, you have a little gap up here. And I think 1 hour is not enough. It is enough. Okay. You also have here an M or a W, M or W. The right side is the highest, the right side is the highest, the middle is the lowest, the middle is the lowest. And this here would be already this here. So the next thing would be just, I don't know, like a higher low from this fall. Like history always repeats with this higher low shit, huh? And after this higher low, you just do. That's why. I could be wrong, but that's why. I know I was in the last week's bearish. I mean, these puts paid. But I can't oversee this. I can't oversee this. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, okay. Trying to get out of the cars and waiting for the V here, and then play the whole thing. Oh, price levels. Everything. Yeah, everything over 728 is bullish. Your next target for A, if we're not doing just a straight line, would be 1565, and for B, 36. Looks good for puts and calls. Okay. So, sorry, the video is way too long already. I only wanted to do a 36-minute video for this little update. I will do tomorrow a weekly recap video for all the other ones. Also SPY included, also GNS and all the other stocks. With completely from start to finish explanation again. This will be most likely a 90 minutes video, but who cares? So if you are interested in GNS, Sava, for example, just watch the weekly recap video for tomorrow then too. If you have questions, please write it in the comments. If you have wishes for other stocks, also, and if you liked it, and if you want to hear more rant about myself and other people and stocks and all this insanity, give me a like. Let's see you next time.